So first thing that today we are going to discuss is white balance. Screen. I hope my screen is visible, full screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the first photo that I am sharing. We are very much familiar with this lantern, right? And what about
Yes.
the light that we are getting? If you see this light, mostly this yellowish light will be getting, and it will have some red tint also. So what happens when this type of light source is there? Whatever things are there in the frame, they also tend to become yellowish or sort of reddish. One more example we'll see, like we are also familiar with this old type of electrical bulb. This will also produce light of yellow type. So what happens when this sort of light source is there, everything will become yellowish. Let us say one white paper is there. So what happened to the white paper? It also looks like yellow. But the good thing is that we are human beings and our eyes, those are powerful, sensitive, and they can differentiate. Like if I ask any particular human being, I give one particular white paper and he or she puts the white paper in front of this yellow bulb, though there will be yellow cast on that paper, but the human being will be able to understand what distinguishes that it is actually white paper. But the problem with digital camera is that digital camera, they are not intelligent enough. They will feel that the paper is not white, but the paper is yellow. So this is the in general behavior of digital camera, right? So what to do? What is going to help us? It is the concept of white balance that is going to help us for this type of situation. We'll understand in detail, like let us say yellow light is there, like this sort of bulb is there, yellow light. So normally we get this type of yellow cast, like two human elements are there, or in the environment also we get yellow cast. Some other type of light source, this is the modern day lighting system that we normally get, LED or fluorescent also we can call it. Here there is no particular color cast, because whatever light source that we are getting, it does not cast any particular color. Some background noise is coming, you please avoid that. So here whatever color we get, whether it's a yellow paper, yellow shirt, green color, blue color, everything looks perfect. So this type of situation is easily handled by our digital camera. See, one more type of situation will come where we'll have a light source which is of some color. Like let us say here it is blue. Sometime if we go to shopping mall, we'll get different color. Pink color we get, or red color we will get. In our at our home also we get night lamp of different color. So at that time also, whatever color that we are trying to achieve will be spoiled. Like you have gone to some shopping mall and you have selected some beautiful shirt for you. You have bargained with the shopkeeper. No, I don't want this particular pink. I want darker shade of pink, or I want lighter shade of pink. And finally, after so much of bargaining, after so much of money, you have purchased one shirt and you are taking a particular photo. And if that particular photo is having cast of a particular light, so there is no meaning of bargaining or paying for the costly shirt that you are purchasing or the specific color that you are choosing. So it is the onus of the photographer to reproduce the color as it is, irrespective of whatever lighting environment the subject is going through. So all these types of situations are handled by White balance you can only do if you know what is white balance and how to handle this type of situation. So we will be discussing it. So why this modern digital camera they behave like this is that this is because of a particular property of light. Please understand it. It is not the property of the color, but it is the property of the light. What is the light? Like daylight means it is the light of the sun. So it is called as in a proper daylight where there is no cloud is there in the sky. So that light tends to be pure white or colorless, right? So this particular property is called as color temperature and it is expressed in terms of Kelvin. Like proper daylight 5000 K, so 5000 Kelvin it is called. It is daylight and it does not cast any kind of color that we can see. Like in a proper daylight at afternoon, so whatever color we see, those are pure in nature. Whereas when the color temperature increases like 5000 K to 6000 K, we will have shot of blue or cyan on that. Like whatever photos or whatever subject will be there, there will be cast of cyan or blue color with the increase of color temperature, like 6000 K, like 7000 K, like 8000 K, right? These things flash cloudy, you don't understand, just understand this. With the increase of color temperature, we get light source which tends to be cyan type or whatever color we get on that will have a cast of cyan or blue. Whereas when the color temperature decreases, something like 4000, 3000, 2000, 1000, the color tends to be yellowish or reddish, right? So when color tends to be yellowish or reddish, it is called as warmer color. Whereas when the color temperature increases, it is called as cooler. So every digital camera tried their best to handle this type of situation. How they try to handle this? They will have predefined white balance mode or settings. What are the settings? These settings are given specific name like daylight, like fluorescent, like sunset sunrise, like incandescent or candlelight, flash, cloudy. So these settings are available in majority of the digital camera that we get, whether it is Nikon or Canon or even specific low price handset also for camera or mobile. They will also have this sort of settings for white balance, right? So let us say there is a situation, I have gone to a shopping mall and there some sort of yellow light is there. So my color will be spoiled now. So what I have to do, I have to just go to my camera settings and I have to select my white balance to something like sunrise or sunset or whatever these warmer presets are there. Those things, if I select it, then my camera will understand that lighting condition is not proper. So whatever light is available, that is warmer in nature. So it will try to produce actual color with terms of these presets like 3000K or 2000K. The camera will feel that now these colors, whatever my sensor is getting, is not proper, but it is having a cast of yellow. So the ultimate output or the ultimate picture that the camera is going to produce will be adjusted depending upon whatever the white balance setting that you are selecting. Is it clear?
So could you please repeat that again?
See, we will have different situation. Like we will have normally proper daylight make situation is completely different and very safe for the camera because there is no particular color cast. Whatever colors we are seeing through our eyes, the same color the camera is also seeing and understanding, visualizing, and the photo also produced in such a way, no challenge at all, like this type of situation. But when there is a light source where the light itself is having some color, like in this case yellow cast is there, so our human eyes can distinguish a white paper, though it looks like yellow, but our human eyes, they will understand that the paper is white. But the digital camera, even sophisticated digital camera, they will be fooled by this. They will think that though it is white paper, but there is yellow light, so digital camera thinks the paper color is yellow. So in that type of situation, how to reproduce the actual color, which is a white paper? So what we can do, first we have to understand why this is happening. Why this is happening? Because light is having a property which is called as color temperature. How it is expressed in terms of Kelvin, like 1000 Kelvin or 8000 Kelvin. So when this color temperature is less, something like 1000 K, so light will be called as warmer. So light will have a tint of yellow or red. Whereas whenever this color temperature increases, something like 5000, 6000, 7000 or 8000, colors or light color tends to be bluish or cyan. So we have to feed the camera, or we have to tell the camera about the lighting environment in which the photo is being taken. So let us say we are having this type of situation where this yellow bulb is there. So we understand that there is a yellow cast, but the camera, it does not understand. To how to make the camera understand that there is yellow cast in the actual photo? In the camera, there will be presets available for controlling white balance. What those presets are called? Something like incandescent, like tungsten or candlelight. These presets modes are available. So you can set your camera to use white balance as incandescent or bulb. So the camera will understand now whatever in whatever environment the photo is taken, there is a cast of yellow. So the camera will remove the yellow cast from the photo, and whatever actual colors are there will be captured and reproduced. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. So, sir, similarly, it will be same for cloudy, flash, and shade. But what about for daylight or fluorescent? When do we use these two?
That depends upon in which environment you are taking a photo. Let us say the environment is fine, you are taking photo in a proper daylight. So you can set the camera to auto white balance settings, or you can set the white balance to daylight. So in that, the camera will understand the lighting condition is proper. Let us say you have gone to a shopping mall where there is a lot of blue light, or you have gone to your friend's place where the lighting is that old type CFL tube or bulb, not bulb, tube I am calling. So in that, this fluorescent type light will be there. So if you take a photo, that photo will look like a bit cyan type. So to avoid that, you can set the white balance to fluorescent. So whatever color cast will be there, which is of blue type, will be negated by this particular setting. So first you have to observe the color that is there in the environment. So now once you have seen and observed the color that is available in the environment, depending upon that, you can set the proper white balance required for the to suit that particular scene, right? Is it clear, or is there any confusion? We'll understand
now.
more. So these are standard mode that are available, like candle, like sunrise, like tungsten, like photo flash, or external flash that we are using. So all these settings we have to do. in case if you are not able to decide if what is the appropriate white balance settings for this environment, you can try to keep the settings in auto white balance mode. In that case, the camera will try to give you the best result. For majority of the cases, the camera will be fooled. So it is better to take control of that type of behavior of the camera. We'll see some more example, like let us say this is one particular photo. So whatever I am seeing in the middle of the screen, this is the light source is of neutral type, like there is no color cast. So the color temperature in the range 3000 to 4000 root. When the color temperature has increased, see the right hand side of the frame, now the entire frame is having a cast of cyan or blue. See, white is not pure white anymore. It is having a cast of blue. Similarly, when this color temperature has reduced or decreased, now the color is having a cast of yellow. So it is spoiling the mood of the photo. Like if you have gone to Taj Mahal, visited there, and if you are seeing the Taj Mahal is not white, but a bit yellowish or a bit bluish, then are you going to enjoy the Taj Mahal? The answer is no. So similarly, whenever you are capturing any particular photo or whenever you are reproducing anything where the color looks contaminated, so basically we are spoiling the image. So how we can protect that? With a thorough understanding of white balance or color temperature. So just like within a day or week, it will not come, but over a period of time, if you practice it, or if the concept is clear to you, you can apply it in such a way that whatever colors you are actually seeing or the color they are actually looking can be reproduced. Some more things we'll understand. First, how to set Nikon camera if we are using, they are having directly mode like this, auto or incandescent or fluorescent or direct sunlight. So depending upon the environment where you are shooting that particular white balance mode, if you select it, you get a proper result. In case you are not able to decide what is the particular mode that you should use, you can leave it to auto white balance. But out of 100 time, maybe 60% time, you get a good result. But when the lighting condition is challenging, you get an image which is spoiled, where the color is actually spoiled. So at that time, you have to act and you have to understand and you have to apply it accordingly. This is for Canon camera. There also see the same, these symbols will be corresponding to all these particular modes only. See, these symbols are common. So it is across the platform. You have to select appropriate white balance method and you have to apply before capturing that particular photo. Even basic mobile, like I have a basic handset, which also allow me to set a particular white balance settings. If I go to manual mode, I can select the white balance that I want. It supports auto mode and see all this bulb mode or fluorescent mode, cloudy mode, all things it supports. So this is what we are discussing. Particular photo, it is having a cast of blue or cyan. With the application of proper or appropriate white balance setting, the color is reproduced as it is. See the difference here, the photo with particular color cast, and here is the photo where the color cast is removed. It is very much visually pleasing, and moreover color is reproduced as they are. So this should be the objective of a photographer, and this should be onus of a particular photographer to preserve or produce color as they are. Similarly, left side of the screen, see the entire landscape looks a bit bluish, but when appropriate color white balance settings is applied, color looks as they are. White looks white, blue color, they look blue. In case you have spoiled everything, you have not decided what is the appropriate color balance for you, white balance for you, or what is the appropriate color temperature for you, what you can do, you can take the help of a photo processing software like Lightroom or GIMP, where you will get option to select the appropriate white balance for you. If you, this is a particular screenshot from Lightroom where there is a direct option to set the white balance. In case of GIMP, you don't have the option directly for setting white balance, but there is alternate mechanism using which you can set the color balance or white balance. So that was the concept. Is there any difficulty in understanding? Anyone?
So
No,
in
sir.
which do we use direct sunlight white balance? Like in which photos do we use it if we're going to be taking like in the dark or so, something which is quite shady? Do we use it that time?
See, proper daylight or daylight means where there is no color cast. Let us say you are shooting in some dark place, but dark place, it does not have any artificial light. So there is nothing to spoil the color, right? So you can select with daylight only. So like daylight has nothing to do with the daylight. It is just telling the camera that there is no external interference of color. So it has nothing to do with daylight. At night time also, if there is no external light which is spoiling the actual color, you can go for white balance of type daylight. Right, Prisa?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so this was white balance from our side. We'll have a small recap. So yellow color, these are called warmer color because color temperature is low for these things. These are called proper light or fluorescent type or white type, where there is no interference of any other color. So color reproduction is very easy. This is because of a property of a light which is called as color temperature. It is expressed in terms of Kelvin. And what is the objective? Because human eyes are intelligent, so they can differentiate between the white and any extra color cast, but digital camera, they cannot. So how to negate it? With the help of different types of modes that are available. So depending upon the situation, you have to select appropriate mode so that whatever external color cast is there, that will be removed by the camera itself. So that was the objective for white balance. We'll have one more thing, that is histogram. We'll see that histogram is nothing new, right? We have seen it, but we have not used it much. See, this is a particular photo we'll discuss. Let us say, first you see the sky where it is white type. So where details are there. So these are called as highlights, right? White sky, this particular section, it is called as highlight. Where everything is properly exposed, those things are called as mid-tones, M-I-D, mid-tones. Whereas if there is anything blackish, like this portion between the lips, it looks blackish, here looks dark. So those are called shadow. I think we may not be able to complete histogram. So we'll, like, whatever we can complete, we will complete. Rest of the things we'll be completing in the next class. So we'll understand this. When we learned about exposure, we learned three things: overexposed, properly exposed, and underexposed. But for the time being, we'll just concentrate on properly exposed photo. So let us say this is a photo which is properly exposed. So in a properly exposed photo, we'll have three different types of exposure. Like if we see the white sky, where it is about details. So this is called as highlights. Where everything is properly exposed, this is called as midtones, like this, or this green colors, right? Or these hills. So these things are called midtones. If there is anything dark, so those things are called as shadow. So highlights, midtones, and shadows, right? So if I ask a simple question like, in this photo, how many pixels are there which are having exposure type of highlight? Can anyone answer it? The answer will be no.
Two.
No human
No.
being can understand like that. But a digital system can answer that. What is the digital system, or what is the method which can explain that? That is called as histogram. It is nothing but a graphical representation which analyzes a particular photo, and it tells us in a particular photo what are the areas or how many pixels are there which are of type midtones, how many pixels are there which are of type highlights, and how many pixels are there which are of type shadow. In case something is completely washed out, maybe some areas in these places, those are called white, extreme right, this is white. If something is completely dark, maybe this black area, that is called as black, right? So how to read this histogram? Left hand side we will call it as 0, right hand side we will be calling it as 255. Means 0 means everything is black, 255 means everything is white. In between they are having some sort of exposure level, like from underexposure to overexposure, and in the middle somewhere like 127 or 128, they are called as exact proper midtones. In between they are called as shadows, here they are called as highlights. What these things are called, like at least these many pixels are there in the photo which are of midtones type, or let us say this point is having the value 128. So these many pixels are there in the entire frame which is having an exposure value of 128. Similarly, here means at least some pixels are there which are having some exposure value of, let us say, 240 or something like that. So earlier whatever things we were asking, that thing is actually replied by, not by some human beings, but with the help of a something called as histogram. It is nothing but a graphical representation of a particular image to tell us about the composition, about the exposure composition of a particular photo, whether those are properly exposed, underexposed, overexposed. So where these things are useful, let us say you are having some camera and you have gone to field to shoot something, but outside what will happen, bright sunlight will be there, and your LCD monitor or even your phone with its highest brightness, you will not be able to see the screen. So you will not be able to decide whether the photo that you have taken is properly exposed or not. So what is the thing that is going to help you? Histogram. Histogram, right? How they are going to help you? So we'll discuss this later on. One more time we'll understand. This is 0, this is 255. What they are representing? Pixel brightness. These things are called as lighter tones, or that we have already discussed. Highlights, or maybe white, darker tone, black, mid-tones, dark tone, light tone. This we understand. So for a properly exposed photo, most of the things will be in mid-tones, right? Like this. See the lower portion of the photo. If we have a photo which is properly exposed, so most of the things will be like this in the middle. So even if we are in the daylight where the LCD screen is not visible, or the camera that we are taking, because of the daylight we are not able to judge the photo whether it is underexposed or overexposed, we can see the histogram, or if the composition or if the histogram is showing like this, then we can understand that the exposure level of the photo is correct. We'll just discuss at some point of time, our 40 minutes will be over. We'll be starting our this particular subject from the next class where we are stopping today, right? So there is something called highlight clipping. What is that? If there is some pixels in the image which is completely washed out, so there is a feature in the histogram, which is the feature of a particular camera. So that will give you some highlight or some warning or some blinking symbol. Means there is some highlight which is completely washed out. Those are called highlight clipping. Similarly, if something has become completely black, so that is called as shadow clipping. So this is a feature of the camera. Your camera has to support, your phone has to support. Then only we get this. What we have to understand is that a properly exposed photo, the histogram will look like this, like things will be there in the mid-tone, whereas underexposed photo, the histogram will look like this in left-hand side. Means most of the things are underexposed, whereas overexposed photo will look like the right-hand side of the histogram, right? Where things are highlights, like is moving towards the highlight. So this is for a proper exposed photo, this is for overexposed photo, and this is for underexposed photo. The histogram is just helping us in deciding that photo that we are taking, whether it is properly exposed, underexposed, or overexposed. Till now, is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So next class we'll be discussing starting from here. Today, bye and good night, because I think it's 40 minutes is going to be over anytime. So nothing new we'll be discussing. The only objective of histogram is to differentiate between a particularly properly exposed photo, underexposed photo, or overexposed photo with the help of brightness level, right? This is also one more example. 3 photos are there. In the middle, it is properly exposed photo. So this particular histogram is evenly distributed. See, left hand side, it is underexposed photo. So histogram is trending towards the left hand side, towards underexposure, towards darkness. Where the photo is overexposed, so histogram is tending towards right hand side. So this is the objective of histogram. In Nikon camera, you are having directly settings where you can see the histogram by clicking this particular option, highlight. In Canon camera also, Canon camera also, you will having same option. See, this is the histogram settings. All these things we'll be discussing tomorrow or in the next class. I think it is giving us some more time. But we will be stopping here, right? Histogram, the basic concept, I hope it is clear.
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we'll be starting, another 23 seconds are there. So in the next class, we'll be discussing about histogram. So there is no assignment for white balance as well as histogram, just you have to understand it properly and you have to apply it.
Okay, sir.
So bye and good night. I'll be sharing this
Good night, sir.
link to you. Good night.